Sister Wives. Christine Woolley says Kody Brown punished her for speaking up on the show. Christine Woolley, formerly known as Christine Brown from Sister Wives, has once again shaken up the Brown family storyline with shocking revelations about her past with Kody Brown. In her latest memoir and interviews, Christine is not holding back. She boldly claims that Kody actively punished her whenever she dared to speak up on the show or within the family. These claims have ignited heated discussions among fans who have long speculated that Christine was treated unfairly during her marriage to Kody. Christine explains that throughout her years as part of the Brown family, she constantly felt silenced and dismissed. According to her, Kody did not want her to voice her opinions, especially when it came to disagreements that might portray him negatively on camera. She recalls how every time she attempted to challenge him or express her true feelings, Kody would retaliate by withdrawing affection, attention, or even support for her children. This is a bombshell because for years, viewers of Sister Wives witnessed Christine as the wife who often struggled to gain Kody's approval. Fans remember the heartbreaking moments when Christine openly admitted she felt like the basement wife and constantly placed below Robin in Kody's priorities. But now, Christine says it wasn't just neglect, it was deliberate punishment. She claims that her willingness to be honest in front of the cameras was something Kody couldn't tolerate. Christine writes that Kody preferred the family image to look united, obedient, and loyal to him. Any wife who disrupted that picture by showing cracks in the marriage or challenging his decisions became a target of his silent treatment or anger. Christine now insists that her punishment was not only emotional but also deeply psychological, leaving her feeling trapped in a cycle of control. According to Christine, one of the clearest examples of this punishment came when she voiced her dissatisfaction about moving to Flagstaff. She remembers being vocal about how uprooting the family from Las Vegas would cause chaos, instability, and unhappiness for their children. Instead of addressing her concerns with care, Kody reportedly turned cold toward her, shutting down conversations and making her feel guilty for questioning his leadership. She even recalls that when she stood her ground, Kody often shifted blame, accusing her of being disloyal or negative. This emotional manipulation, Christine says, was Kody's way of punishing her for simply speaking up. She insists that the dynamic between them was toxic long before she decided to leave. The more she tried to express herself, the more he pushed her away. Fans of the show may remember that Christine often appeared as the wife who carried much of the family's emotional weight. She was the one who cheered on her kids, hosted family gatherings, and maintained a cheerful front even when things weren't perfect. But now she reveals that much of her smile was forced. Behind the cameras, she was paying the price for her bravery. Every opinion came at a cost. Christine also reveals that Robin Brown played a role in this punishment cycle. She says that Kody would often side with Robin whenever Christine challenged him. If Christine disagreed, Kody would use Robin as an example of the supportive wife who never questioned him. This comparison, Christine claims, was another form of punishment, constantly reminding her that she wasn't good enough in his eyes. Another shocking detail Christine shares is that Kody's punishments often extended to the children. She believes that Kody would sometimes distance himself from her kids as a way of getting back at her. For Christine, this was the most painful part. She explains that her children noticed when Kody favored Robin's kids and seemed absent from theirs. This created resentment that still lingers today. Christine says she will never forgive Kody for putting the children in the middle of his conflicts with her. This revelation also makes sense when fans look back at the timeline of events on Sister Wives. During the years leading up to her split from Kody, Christine often expressed feelings of loneliness. She admitted on camera that Kody was not intimate with her anymore, and that their marriage lacked love. At the time, fans speculated whether Kody had emotionally abandoned her in favor of Robin. Now Christine's claims about being punished seem to shed light on why things deteriorated so badly. Christine's honesty has struck a chord with fans who see her as the wife who finally stood up for herself. Social media is filled with comments praising Christine for escaping a toxic situation. Many fans believe her story validates what they've suspected all along, that Kody used control and favoritism as tools to keep his wives in line. Christine leaving the family and later marrying David Woolley is now seen as her ultimate victory. In her memoir, Christine emphasizes that speaking up was always worth it, even though it came with consequences. She says she couldn't keep living a lie, pretending that everything was perfect when it clearly wasn't. The price of honesty was high, but the price of silence, she says, would have been even higher. She encourages others in toxic relationships not to let fear of punishment keep them quiet. Interestingly, Christine's revelations also make fans question how much of the show was manipulated or hidden. If Kody was punishing Christine for speaking her truth, how much of the family's real struggles were buried to protect Kody's image? Some fans now suspect that sister wives only scratched the surface of the Brown family's dysfunction, and Christine's memoir is the first time we're seeing the reality behind the cameras. Christine even suggests that Kody had a very calculated way of controlling narratives on the show. According to her, he knew that being the head of a polygamous family on television meant he needed to appear strong and wise. Allowing Christine to openly disagree with him threatened that image. So instead of addressing problems authentically, he chose to punish and silence her. This pattern of behavior, Christine claims, ultimately pushed her to make the life-changing decision to leave. She realized that staying with Kody meant sacrificing her voice and identity. By leaving, she finally reclaimed her power. Her marriage to David Woolley, she says, has been the opposite experience, filled with love, respect, and open communication. For fans, Christine's story is not just about reality TV drama. It's about resilience, independence, and breaking free from control. Her revelations about punishment and manipulation highlight the darker side of polygamy and the struggles women face when their voices are suppressed. Many viewers see Christine as an inspiration, proving that it's never too late to walk away and build a better future. Christine also makes it clear that her story isn't meant to tear anyone down but to shed light on the truth. She insists that silence protects abusers and manipulators, and by sharing her experiences, she hopes others will feel empowered to break free from toxic relationships. Kody, on the other hand, has not responded kindly to Christine's memoir. Sources say he feels betrayed and believes Christine is exaggerating her experiences to gain sympathy. Robin, too, is reportedly upset, insisting that Christine is painting her as the villain. But Christine seems unfazed. She says she spent too many years worried about Kody's fee. Looking back, fans believe Christine's exit from the marriage was inevitable. The punishment, neglect, and favoritism were all signs that the marriage was doomed. But what makes this story powerful is how Christine turned her pain into strength. Instead of remaining a silent victim, she chose to expose the truth and move forward with her life. As Christine continues to share her journey, fans eagerly await how the rest of the Brown family will respond. Will Kody finally admit to the toxic behaviors she describes, or will he continue to deny everything? One thing is certain, Christine's voice is no longer silenced, and her story has forever changed the way fans view sister wives. Christine's revelation about being punished for speaking up serves as a reminder that silence often benefits those in power. Her courage to speak her truth, despite the consequences, is what makes her stand out among the sister wives. And now, with her new life, new love, and new independence, Christine proves that reclaiming your voice is the most powerful form of freedom. Christine Woolley, once Christine Brown from Sister Wives, has made yet another jaw-dropping confession about her time with Kody Brown. This time, she reveals that speaking her mind was not only discouraged but came with a heavy price. According to Christine, Kody went out of his way to punish her whenever she dared to challenge him or disrupt the carefully crafted family image the show was trying to present. For years, fans watched Christine as the wife who tried her best to stay cheerful, keep the peace, and support her kids, even while struggling with her relationship with Kody. But behind the scenes, she says things were much darker. Christine explains that every time she raised her voice, every time she disagreed with Kody, or every time she refused to be silenced, Kody retaliated. His punishments weren't physical, but they were just as damaging. They cut deep into her emotional well-being, her role as a wife, and even her connection with her children. Christine describes Kody as a man obsessed with control. In her words, his biggest fear was losing authority, especially in front of the cameras. She claims that he wanted the world to see him as the wise leader of a big polygamous family, but Christine speaking up threatened that image. So he punished her with coldness, distance, and blame. She recalls one of the earliest times she felt this punishment clearly. It happened when the family was living in Las Vegas. Christine says she wanted to express her doubts about the direction the family was taking, but the moment she spoke honestly, Kody turned icy. From that point on, she noticed he withheld affection and ignored her opinions more and more. Instead of working things out, he made her feel like an outsider in her own marriage. One of the biggest clashes between them was the infamous move to Flagstaff. Fans remember Christine's visible frustration during that storyline. She didn't want to move, fearing the chaos it would bring for her children and for the family's financial stability. When she spoke her truth, she says Kody treated her like a traitor. According to Christine, his punishment wasn't yelling or anger, it was silence and rejection. He would cut her off emotionally, refusing to even have conversations that mattered. This type of silent punishment left her feeling invisible. Christine also believes that Kody's punishments weren't limited to her alone. She insists he used their children as pawns in his battle to control her. She remembers moments when Kody suddenly became distant from her kids after arguments. He didn't outright say it was because of her, but the timing always matched. Christine now sees this as a calculated move, punishing her by making their children feel abandoned. For a mother, she says, that was the deepest wound of all. Perhaps the most painful example Christine recalls was when she wanted to celebrate milestones with her kids, but Kody barely showed up. She noticed how he would suddenly become more attentive to Robyn's children, almost as if rewarding Robyn for her loyalty while punishing Christine for her defiance. This favoritism, she says, wasn't accidental, it was another layer of control. Christine admits that at first, she thought she was imagining things. She wondered if she was being too sensitive. But over time, the pattern became undeniable. Every time she asserted herself, the punishment followed. Every time she pushed for honesty, she was met with cold detachment. The truth is, fans had already noticed hints of this dynamic. Many viewers commented over the years that Kody seemed to show clear favoritism toward Robyn while neglecting the other wives. Christine's confession only confirms what so many suspected, that this was deliberate, and that her honesty was the trigger for Kody's rejection. She also points out how Kody often used comparisons as a weapon. Christine remembers being told that Robyn was more supportive, more loyal, more understanding. Kody would highlight Robyn as the example of what a wife should be, making Christine feel like she was constantly falling short. But Christine says this wasn't about being supportive, it was about being silent. Robyn didn't challenge Kody, which is why she was rewarded, while Christine was punished for daring to speak up. Christine's revelation also brings new perspective to some of the most heartbreaking moments on Sister Wives. Fans recall when Christine confessed that intimacy with Kody had ended, and that he no longer considered her a wife in the same way. At the time, it felt cruel and shocking. Now, Christine explains that this withdrawal of intimacy was part of the punishment cycle. If she spoke up too much, if she stepped out of line, Kody would take away affection. For Christine, this was devastating, leaving her feeling unloved and unworthy. Over time, this cycle wore her down. Christine admits that she began to doubt herself, questioning whether she was truly difficult or disloyal. But deep down, she knew the truth. She wasn't being disloyal, she was being honest. And for Kody, honesty was the ultimate threat. Christine's decision to finally leave was the turning point. She realized she could no longer live under Kody's punishments, nor could she allow her children to continue feeling the effects of his favoritism. Her choice to leave was not just about ending a marriage, it was about ending a cycle of emotional control. Today, Christine stands proud of that decision. Her marriage to David Woolley has shown her what true love and respect look like. She says that with David, she never fears punishment for speaking her mind. Instead, her voice is valued and her opinions matter. For the first time, she feels free to be her authentic self. Fans see Christine as a symbol of strength. Her story resonates with many who have lived through relationships where speaking up led to consequences. She's become an example of how leaving isn't failure, it's freedom. Social media is filled with support for Christine, with fans praising her courage to expose Kody's toxic behavior and step into a new life of happiness. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn are not pleased with Christine's revelations. Reports suggest that Kody feels attacked, insisting that Christine is exaggerating or twisting the truth to make him look bad. But Christine is standing firm. She says the years of silence are over, and she's no longer willing to protect Kody's image at the expense of her own truth. Her memoir is giving fans a rare inside look into what life was really like.